We lived in a 3 or 4 story building, and when they were painting the outside of the building, they built a scaffolding. I was about 6, and I thought, whenever I want to commit suicide, I can just climb up and jump down, so I'll be okay as long as the scaffolding is there. That's my way out. That shows the degree of unhappiness. One night the thought came into my head, I can't live with myself any longer. There was such intense unhappiness. The depression, it was just too much to take. At that moment, an inner separation happened between the unhappy self and a deeper sense of I or beingness, which I now call consciousness itself. I had been identified throughout my life with an unhappy mind-made entity consisting of self-images and ideas and self-talk in the mind. It's the self-talk that most people are familiar with, but in my case it was particularly destructive and unpleasant. The emotions that then I felt continuously were the reflection of the predominantly negative self-talk about myself, about other people, about the situation I found myself in. There was ample justification for negative self-talk because I was struggling, I didn't have enough money, I was trying to prove myself, working too hard, couldn't find a girlfriend, was too shy. Basically, there was this unhappy me, but at that night I disidentified from it and stood back from it, so to speak. And I suddenly thought, I can't live with myself any longer. Are there 2 of me or 1? What does that mean? I can't live with myself. Who am I, and who or what is that self that I cannot live with? Then that thought brought about the separation, and then there was an I, and then this unhappy me was somehow recognized as not real. The next morning I woke up feeling totally at peace. So most of the self-talk, the voice in the head, is conditioned by one's past, it's conditioned by one's education, one's upbringing, the culture you've been brought up in, and many personal factors, your parents and so on. All these makes up the kind of talk that happens in your head. A great step forward is already to realize that there is a voice in your head that talks all the time. There are 2 dimensions of consciousness possible in you. One is the dimension of thinking, which is great. A more vital and deeper dimension is the dimension of simple awareness, which means consciousness. When you think, consciousness takes on a particular form. Every thought is a thought form. It's an energy formation. And that the awareness of thought is not a thought. It's simply the ability to look at a thought like a light shining on a thought. An analogy we could use is to say that consciousness is the vast ocean and thinking is the waves and ripples on the surface of the ocean. And every wave and ripple has a very short-lived life. It's very fleeting, like every thought, but it pretends to have an independent existence. And then what happens is this continuous identification with the stream of thinking leads to a very serious dysfunction in one's sense of identity, because then your sense of who you are, your sense of I-ness, is derived from whatever your mind is telling you about yourself. In other words, your sense of who you are is derived from thought. And that was recognized already by the ancient teachers like the Buddha as erroneous, an illusion. There is a deeper sense of self possible to humans when something emerges from within you that is deeper than who you thought you were. So the person is still there, But one could almost say that something more powerful shines through the person.